hasn't been.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pages.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is...
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking. Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. Like, he's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we...
Brilliant! I knew...
Don't thank me.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together to the Black Hammer.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive. That's one down and just 3 more to...
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, Ice. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave when...
I was. And you can come too.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Is that the thing Tomes helped me?
Red crystal too.
Trouble with the ledgers. What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him. Hopefully it's nothing. I got your note. You think something's wrong?
So you can read. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's only not been working him too.
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy?
What was it you said he was?
That's what the lawsman see.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is
I suppose things happened. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
instead of everything.
Blackthorn.
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting. And you might still be doubting your craft. Even after learning. Perhaps sharing your thoughts might.
That bastard. Still, you've got a keen eye out. He's just, well,
And that was?
a sword. An odd looking. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but you could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be off.
So that's what's troubling.
No. Not troubling me exactly. More,
And if you knew how to, we could arm the curse breakers with even...
that's about a soft.
I'll see what I can find. Sharper swords are always... And we can't have our master blacksmith being...
You're a soft touch, but I can't say I'm not grateful for it.
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this.
Well, here, Sid.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic, the lovely bit of kit it is. Bunging a solution you want problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities, which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be...
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicine.
Proper.
So what exactly do you need?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do. Gave me a sample she'd obtained. You pour the blackest blight water through it. So, I did a bit of read, and do you know what I found now? It's only the
I take it that...
I saw a billet on the hunt board for would have gone myself, but, well, fighting.
All right.
Thank you, kind.
I think Mid might need some help tidying up.
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Oh, don't we? A little. Listen. And it's... me. Sadly, that square turned... I can straighten it out, I swear, but I'm gonna need help keep...
Be alive.
There you are!
So let me get this straight. And instead of coming straight, you get Clive to come to you. The man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. Well,
Oh, just Martha.
we owe 3 of our most trusted friends.
Each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and...
We have that much to hand? I can always ask.
No, we don't. And no, after the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better. Besides, we'll need to...
All right. But that doesn't mean... Is there anything I can...
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Mark?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. A little something Sid and I set us, and I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies.
I'm sure they will.
But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark.
I know. Which...
Go. Do you know why?
Because...
Because I'd rather Lady Karen.
Well...
Don't worry.
Really?
No.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
You're looking well.
What do you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn.
Running around after him again?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help.
Little wondrous. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go which made it nice and easy finding.
Can you tell me who bought it?
You think I tell people who make like? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him. Fine. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamit.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's...
I appreciate... Lawsman, I need to ask...
He isn't ill.
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost... She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with...
I rather think she might be right. Though not all canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that... And I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to provide. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield old. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria...
I don't recall ever seeing any that...
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida. And that...
Even so.
Good hunting.
there's talk.
How the hell is anyone supposed to afford that?
Did you hear?
The gates to heaven, Paul.
I want to see you again.
What am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Still no
Milady,
gifts? Oh my.
Otto asked me to give to settle the Hideaway's debt and to...
I thought you might finally tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him the man owes me nothing. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly.
You once told me, Sid, did you? I'd like to do the same. And for Otto's. For all of us.
Otto is lucky. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway...
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. And blamed himself for not being able... I don't know how it happened. Whether there was anything he could have done.
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his soul. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate. Clive! Wait.
I wasn't expecting to be here. But it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the Hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the Hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep...
Gob will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us. Good girl. Run like the wind. It's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Go for it! This one! Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy. Fetch! People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
St. Drake's Fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal gone. What are we gonna do?
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He's been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made, every ill-gotten coin in Dalamel is said to...
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon you.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell.
Company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off! This one! Stay down! This one.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamel.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scum.
There are many other collectors out there.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis, and is a perennial... Farewell, Wyvern, may our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't...
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Nid told me she was building a ship.
Good. So Lady Karen
But she was just too stubborn. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me...
Karen refused...
I hope it wasn't Saya.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you like me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity.
Of course not. But one good... Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper.
Oh, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and asked. Might be I already have a bite. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's own. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all.
I hear you ended up delivering... Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those...
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit...
I knew so little about it.
Most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before?
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... oh, forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have?
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they... Luckily, Sid was of the same mind. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world. Him who cried for me when I had no tears. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. So, Molly's left up. That'll teach me for treating you like you're still... All right. Now we know what you're after. I can see about getting some...
Speaking of which, I brought one for later.
You can, aye. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him. Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree with...
You learned something about that sword?
I did better.
Hey, a whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make some...
I'm sure the curse breakers will just... Don't push yourself.
Don't you worry. I've been working day and night since I was half your age. And Hey, I owe you one. August 2.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First, you come and find me when you've got the material.
Right.
So, will it be?
Ah, were you able to
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in
Very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way.
Ah. But that reminds me. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role
About how she somehow woke the power within it?
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. The Fenrir of legend served, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply...
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, and that number has only grown. As the realms, one can but speculate as to how...
He has seemed more...
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Look at this place.
Come on. Fly, Ambrose.
deserve a rest.
This one. Over here. Go to him.
Ready, go?
Faster.
I can walk from here. Here. Greetings, Your Majesty. Your reign is over. Now to collect the ash. I should... This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it. If the wine needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
Better already. Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia.
To the stables, girl.
Seems this one has a little more life left in it. All right then. It's over.
anything Tomes helped to do?
Mid told me she was building a
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Here's everything we've received and everything promised. All yours. All done?
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for...
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say other. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and... There we have the Telemon Alembic. And it...
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning...
There's no need.
Don't be... Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I...
What?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make... Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. See? I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen up.
Well...
That's the spirit! Well?
It certainly feels...
Right?
Thank you.
No, for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavours. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your... And I'm telling you, there's plenty more...
Wish I could take one of
He cracked the crystal too. You're joking.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
All right, Clive. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Is that the thing Toes help?
Obelith.
Yep. You in a hurry and all, are you? No, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelith.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle? Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off?
Well, nothing but next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was just like when we built this place. Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked...
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth. Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping. Sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go? With them? Oh, thanks, Nan!
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?